Fans have been enjoying Final Fantasy XVI so far. However, like many games, it is not free of issues, and the game's developer, Creative Business Unit 3, has been hard at work trying to address fan feedback, one of which being that we have a brand new patch for Final Fantasy XVI, and this patch is said to alleviate one of the game's biggest problems that was thoroughly complained about before release, and that I thought was supposed to be fixed in the day one patch, but apparently in this patch it actually fixes it. So you are going to want to hit that subscribe button for all things Final Fantasy XVI. And we are closing in on 93,000 subs, so if you could, go ahead and push us over the edge. The biggest news about this patch is that it finally fixes the motion blur, something that in the game is so strong has left some people unable to play due to getting motion sickness. If that sounds like you or someone you know, give them the good news that they can finally play Final Fantasy XVI. The game's patch also covers a number of other things. Here are the patch notes. Announcing the release of Update 1.03, which makes a number of improvements to Final Fantasy XVI. This update fixes some issues and adds some new functionality. We recommend that you install this update before playing the game. This update adds the following items to the System tab of the main menu. Motion Blur Strength allows the player to adjust the strength of the motion blur effect when the character or camera is in motion. The default setting is a maximum of 5. This can be lowered to reduce the strength of the motion blur effect, or set to 0 to turn it off completely. Player Follow Movement, Player Follow Attack. Turning these settings off prevents the camera from automatically following the player while moving and attacking respectively. Changes to the maximum setting of the camera sensitivity, horizontal, and camera sensitivity vertical items from 10 to 20. Another common complaint is that the game didn't have enough controller options. While you still can't make a custom control scheme, they have added 3 more controller layouts in the forms of controller types D, E, and F. While yes, it would be better to be able to completely map the control scheme the way that you want to, between these 6 different controller types, there's an extreme degree of likelihood of however you wanted things to be mapped will be mapped that way with these control schemes. Continuing onward, corrects an issue affecting stability of some of the menus, corrects some text issues, and adds the hashtag FF16 when sharing screenshots or video clips to Twitter or YouTube. Now, of course, there is still a massive elephant in the room here. Yes, motion blur was one of the biggest issues plaguing the game, but there is still one more left, and that is the frame rate issues the game has. Now, on graphics mode, you can get a very stable 30 frames per second. Very minimal issues, nothing really to worry about. However, whenever you're playing the game on performance mode, trying to get 60 frames per second, in many of the game's towns and other areas, you'll be getting a rough 40 frames per second. This is something that people have been hoping that a patch will drop for. However, this patch currently does not fix anything with the frame rate issues, at least according to the patch notes. In fact, I doubt performance has changed at all with this patch, because at least when it changes a little bit, there is some sort of note that says that performance and other stuff has been optimized. None of that here. So if you're hoping that this game will run at a more stable 60 frames, that's currently not going to happen yet. However, there is hope that that will be patched in soon. Of course, it's unfortunate because so many people I know have already finished the game, and when it does come around, most of us will probably have already finished the game, aside from late adopters. Speaking of people who still haven't finished the game, you can watch me finish the game this week, finally, over on twitch.tv/TheNightSkyPrince. I have been going through doing pretty much every single thing in the game, all the hunts, all the side quests, and we should finally be finishing the whole game up pretty soon, and that means you guys will be getting my Final Fantasy XVI review, so I hope you're looking forward to that. And what I have to say might just surprise you, so be sure to check that out with a link in the description below.